Hey, Board Game Brody here with Let's Table It, where we get games to the table, like Divinus by Lucky Duck Games. Now, legacy games are very hard to review, and I want to tell you great things that this game holds, but I don't want to be that reviewer who also spoils everything for the game for you, because you will want to find surprises in this game, and the game changes as you play through the campaign. So, I'm going to hold back on a lot of my thoughts because they might spoil the game for you, as I feel like one of the best things that this game does is hides some of those surprises, both ones that you can anticipate and ones that you will not know that are coming. But first, let me explain the basis of the game. Players are demigods who are facing off with each other to try to impress the gods, both the Greek gods and the Norse gods, sometimes needing to choose which one you will serve. Each player will be assigned dice of a certain color matching their demigod, and will be adding stickers to their dice to change their values to help them gain better tiles as they play through the game. Players roll their dice and then can use them to make values that match locations on the board to gain the shown tiles. Tiles will have a possibility of 3 different types of terrain. Now, water, plains, or mountains. You have to connect the sides of the tiles with the same terrain type, and players will form their own 4x4 area of their own, trying to complete and compete for goals which change throughout the game. But some might be having large areas or different terrain types, or having the most groups of different terrains. Tiles also have icons which represent the Norse and the Greek gods and barbarians as well. You might want to have a lot of these, or specifically have them in certain type of terrains, things like that for the goals for the scenarios. As you place your dice to collect that tile, they will stay out on the board until you take the rest action to gain them back, and then you get to re-roll them. You will have quests during each campaign where the first person to complete the task will gain some type of reward. This sometimes is a gift that could appear and trigger during future campaigns, and this could be adding additional stickers on tiles or things like that. And then there is also god cards that show goals and the rewards for fulfilling the goal. At the end of the game, which is when a player completes their own 4x4 grid with tiles, then the rewards are claimed. Players can gain points from either god card, and these points will be kept using the app. In fact, the app does a lot of other things, like some of the special stickers that you add to tiles will trigger the app to continue the story about that location. You simply scan the sticker and then read the ongoing story with that location. This also might give you special actions or whatever the surprise might be. Some players are connected to those locations, and even if another player takes the tile with that sticker on it later in the later rounds, it will do something for maybe both players. As you play through the campaign, you will gain stickers that will add more rules to the game, making it more complex. Stickers can be added to each player's box, giving them unique bonuses that others cannot perform, just that one player. And players will soon have different dice with new stickers on them with different values shown on them. Tiles change from all the stickers that players place on them as well. Stickers you add at the beginning stay on throughout until the end, until later campaigns as well. Locations added will also stay and build a story. So you just know that your choices will come they will have long-term consequences. Some that might not impact much, but others might actually do so. The player who is in last will be able to gain some bonuses, and also will go first, which will start them grabbing off the best tile. But then tiles are random and things can fall however after that. Sometimes you will want to plan things out so others, when they grab their dice back, tiles drop in place and you have first dibs on those tiles. Other times you might want to spend your dice fully because the more efficient player will finish their 4x4 grid first, and they will gain extra points for doing that. Then players who won last scenario from different gods can gain additional abilities to use for the next scenario. This can sometimes make it hard for the player in last to catch up, but it just shows how important it is to go after those quests, win the goals, and compare your tiles with the other players. If you think that you're not going to achieve a goal because another player is further down the road with it, then you can decide to go after something more worthwhile. You will be able to see, what players are focusing on, their goals they might be going for, but you also can plan to win some of the goals that one is focusing on by strategically picking certain tiles and placing them on your own map. And well, that's Divinus. It's a campaign legacy tile laying game about the Greek and Norse gods. And this was a great experience for me and my family to play through. We enjoyed how the game grew, but you still somehow or somewhat understood what you were doing while playing through. The scoring changes throughout, making it feel, more familiar but different. There was excitement when new things and the game changes, opening boxes to see what the surprises might hold. This is a hard video to make because it's a legacy campaign game. And again, I don't want to blow any of those fun moments that we had for you, but, we had a blast playing this game. Now, we had no problems with the app. It actually felt really good to have it. It kept the score for us, and we just referenced it to see, where everyone was at for the scoring. We used it to scan the stickers, which worked well. The app helped tell the story, and not even for that one scenario, but as the game continued, things would pop up that we used in previous scenarios so that, that was fun to see that the app held on to those things. The most frustrating part for us was that you would need to almost take a break when some of those new rules came out because you had to add them into the rule book with stickers, sometimes mid-play, and then read them to everyone and then try to figure out, what changes it did for the game because they start right then and there. And sometimes it was, like 4 big new rules to put stickers in and adding those. So it kind of stopped the game a little bit while players were, either trying to figure out the new stuff and what it did or others, just got bored waiting to see, what changed in the game. Besides that, we felt like the game was excellent for what it did. We were anticipating some bigger changes further in the scenarios that didn't really happen, but we were still digging the current rules and trying to compete with each other for what we were doing. I'd say strategically, players need to pay attention to what other players are doing and try to be competitive when completing goals and not letting a single player gain the majority of them. You can gauge if you are competitive in challenging another player to fulfill a goal or let it go and go to a different one. But realistically, all players should be challenging all other players in these goals. If that doesn't happen, then there might be a runaway leader, which is just not fun in the game because they're just going to win no matter what. But really, of all the campaign-based games we have played, we really enjoyed this one. You feel like you are able to upgrade your dice and gain stickers to upgrade your character and your powers. You are able to reset from each scenario and then go after the new goals that change your strategy and what you're doing from scenario to scenario. Someone is going to gain each new ability or power, so players just need to make sure it's not that same player every time. Again, it's hard to tell about the game without spoiling the surprises in the game, but for a family who has never finished their copies of Pandemic Legacy, this is one campaign game that we did play all the way through. Again, this is Brody with Let's Table It, where we get games to the table. Please like and subscribe to our channel. We are new and working hard to bring to you videos like this one so you know if these games are ones that you want to get to your table.